Hi guys, this is me again, and yeah, it's been a while since I posted last video, right? So I'm here, and you know, how do you do it all? Like, how do you do it all? This is actually the question that summarizes my whole point of this video. Um, in the last 5 months or so, ever since I went back to school, I receive like tons of questions. Like the most frequent or the questions that I get more often, like 4 questions that I get more often, are questions like, how do you find time for studying? Or how do you manage your household effectively? How do you find time for kids? Or even, do you still work? And those are the 4 topics I actually would like to talk about today briefly. I'm not going to do a really long video about this, but just to give you an idea on where I am at this point in time, ever since I posted my first video. And so here I am. I'm now in the 2nd semester of the university. I managed to survive my first semester this fall, and it was great. It was a great experience. I learned to learn again. That's good. On the other hand, it was a great time of adjustment. Like, it took me all that time to adjust to the new situation, to learn all of those things that people ask me about most often. I'm still nowhere near perfect. I'm always willing to learn more. I'm striving to get better and better at what I do. Of course, there are failures at times, but it's fun. I enjoy it. Like, all my fears about being a mature student, being over 30, or not being able to cope with the content of the material, like of the courses and of what's being expected from me, are now gone. Like, I still have some of the concerns, but they're not near as big as they were in the beginning. So I passed all of the courses last semester, thankfully, except one. I probably will need to repeat it, but that's another story. I'm not going to talk about it today. But I learned a lot. I learned how to find time to study. And how do I do it? I very quickly realized that I can't study at home very well. So what I do now is, whenever I go to school, which is actually every day, after my classes end, I go to library. I have like 1.5 to 2 hours time to really focus on some studying. That way I don't have any distractions. I'm not tempted to do anything that's not relevant to studying, because it's a library and it's quiet, everyone's sitting there and studying most of the time. So I usually stay there up until like 4 p.m. and then go home, because it takes me about 1 hour and 15 minutes to commute to my home town. And then I need to pick up the girls from the daycare by 6 p.m. no later. And then, so I usually like to be at home at 6, like latest. And then after that I stay, like I do my household things, like cooking, cleaning, and all that kind of stuff. Spending time with kids, talking to the older kids how their school day went, maybe like helping them with some homework problems. And so everything what has to do with home and children, I do in that evening time most of the days. After the kids are gone to bed at 9, then it's time for myself. Either I'm like reading something, like I very rarely watch anything. Most of the time I'm just reading and trying to relax. Quite often I would also study. Like, it depends on how my mood is that day, how energetic I am. Like if I have still some energy to put in processing some new facts and information, I will totally do it. And I don't mind doing it. That's the cool part about it, that I don't mind learning. I don't mind studying. And then, yeah, I try to go to bed no later than like 11 p.m. So it doesn't really work out to go earlier. And then I'm up at, like, sometimes some days I'm up at 5 or at 6 or at 7. It varies. If I try to get some more hours of studying per day, then I would get up at 5, study until 7, and then get ready for school, get the kids ready for school and daycare, and then we'll all leave the house either at like at 8, or if I have to leave at 7, then yeah, I leave at 7, and they go to school at 8, the older kids, and then I bring the younger kids to daycare in the morning. So, and this is basically like a very brief the summary of how my week goes. I often have to study on Sundays, like most of the day, because Saturday is the day where I don't study at all, or if I do, then very seldom, because it's on Saturday. We usually spend time at home, like as a family. My husband is home, he doesn't have to go anywhere on Saturday, and we will go somewhere sometimes, or even just spend the day together at home. Like really, now especially that it's winter, we really like staying home. Like it's been quite cold in the last couple months, I would say. Like December was quite cold, and January too, most of the January. So we felt so comfy at home. Yeah, and I do not work. Like I quit my job. I wouldn't say it's 100% quit. Like I still do some of this stuff on the older files, but I do not accept anything new, like in terms of tasks, like any new clients. I'm not doing it anymore, and I also made a decision to completely leave the industry that I'm working in. So I told my boss that I'm not renewing my professional license anymore, which is expiring in May. So after that, I'm totally free, and I'm so glad about this, because then after this spring semester is done, I'm planning to take a couple more courses in the summer, but this is then just May and June. And then July and August, I'll be absolutely free. And I'm planning to do some things that I'm going to talk to you about later. I'm going to film another series of videos probably on that. But I would love to enjoy the summer that's coming. Yeah, so this is in short where I'm at the moment, and I'm so glad that I made the decision to go back to school. It's been quite a wonderful experience. So if you liked the video, and if you would like to hear more from me, then of course please subscribe and comment below. I would be more than happy to answer your questions. And have an amazing day.